Welcome to a place of faith. Today's service is going to envelop and express a seriously weird Christmas. We're looking forward to it. Would you please join me in prayer? O Divine Master, as we celebrate the glory of this miraculous season, our homes are filled with your love and peace and joy. This evidence of your presence is with us always, and we thank you for the opportunity to experience this presence, to embrace and acknowledge your presence and the blessings we receive when we openly share your love, peace, and joy with others throughout the year. Thank you.
Merry Christmas. My name is Linda, and thanks for joining us for a very, very weird Christmas. So, The Grinch and the Who's, that kind of seems like it could be our theme song for Christmas this year. I'm not sure who stole it, but it sure seems different. I deliberately went shopping earlier this week because I needed some Christmas cheer, and I was so amazed that some of the stores weren't even playing Christmas music. And even when I went into the big stores that usually blast you with Christmas, you had to go look for it, and that's weird. It's like crazy times. And looking back on this whole year, it's been, crazy times. The pandemic, people don't have work. People who've worked for years and years and years are finding themselves out of jobs, working at home. Toilet paper shortages, who saw that coming? Murder hornets, really bizarre politics. Some of our loved ones are sick. People are dying all by themselves. We can't even go and visit them. And now virtual hugs is a thing. Life interrupted. It's been a very interesting year. No one expected this. And for some of us, it's all too easy to jump on the pity pot. Poor me, and glorify the traditions that we're missing out on. The beautiful Christmas with all these people, when in reality, a lot of times, those Christmases were not quite so beautiful, and those people were not always happy to see us or who we hoped they would be. So this Christmas is weird. But for some of us, it is not even the weirdest Christmas that we've been through. And if we think back to what it is we're celebrating, whatever our beliefs are, the first Christmas was pretty weird too. So that very first Christmas, what we're celebrating, the birth of Jesus. Truth is, we don't know what happened. The facts that we have, it's been thousands of years. So who knows what the reality is? But as the story goes, right? Mary was 9 months pregnant, and somebody decided to have the first ever census. They didn't call it that. But our census came off of that, a great accounting of people. And they wanted all the people to return to the home where they came from. And of course, it was very patriarchal. So if you were married, you had to go to wherever your husband grew up. And so here is Mary finding herself riding on a donkey at 9 months pregnant. Talk about horrible stories. And if you back it up a little bit, she got pregnant before she got married, and that's kind of a big deal. That's a lot of weird. And then God shows up, or an angel, and tells you, oh yeah, you're having God's baby, don't freak out. Yeah, that's weird stuff. But the weird always precedes the change, doesn't it? We know that. We're kind of specialists in the weird. And it's interesting, I think those of us who have faced major challenges and overcome them and maybe recreated our entire life, maybe more than once, I think we have skills to deal with some of this weirdness. We certainly do recognize it. It's not like what it was with Mary and Joseph. This is some worldwide weird, right? WWW, worldwide weird. And if the weirdness between Mary and Joseph and that little kingdom had such an impact thousands of years later all over the world, what's coming? Think about it. We are looking at change on levels we have never looked at it before, and it's not just here, it's everywhere. This weird portends a great change. And we know that some of us don't handle change really, really well, right? There's some freak out, there's some panic. We're running the worst case scenario. Oh no, what's this going to mean? What's this going to mean? But it doesn't have to be that way. And one thing I would ask everyone to know is once we walk through this, right, and come out on the other side, we're looking at the possibility, the knowing that life is going to be better than it has ever been before, not just here. Maybe not just this world. Maybe we're finally looking at universal change. Just like change came before and they knew it was coming, right? We know this change is coming. And I invite you, if you're in recovery, and if you're just a family member, or if you are a blessed family member, I didn't mean just, ask your recovering person what it means to hit bottom. And some of us get real comfortable at the bottom. But we know that oftentimes we have to get to that point where we can't stay the same no matter what. We have to change. They have a saying in 12-step rooms that you know you've hit bottom when you put the shovel down and quit digging holes, that you aren't going any deeper. So we drop the shovel, and now what do? Well, our job, your job, is to become the very best you can be. If you need to fix some things that you've made wrong, get busy. The time has come right here, right now. You need to know that you're bringing the very, very best you that you can bring into this situation, whatever it is. Change is coming. Get ready. You've heard that before. And you're hearing it now, and there's a reason for this. I really like this song, Welcome Christmas, and I really like the cartoon, how the Grinch stole Christmas. He took all the toys and all the presents and all the prizes and even all the feasts, all the food and everything that they used to make merry. And all the little who's down in Whoville had were each other. And they celebrated that. Well, we're kind of doing the reverse of that, right? We've got all the packages, all the bows, all the fixings, all the lights, all the feasts, but we don't have the same kind of connections with each other. I would remind you that even though it's different, the people are still there. Your loved ones are still all around you, and they are thinking of you the same way that you are thinking of them. And if there's one thing we've learned from COVID-19. It's that we need to take care of each other. We mask up not to protect us, but to protect people from us. We might not even know we're sick, right? And we don't want to spread it. What an incredible year we have had of learning to care for one another at a higher level. And yeah, there's been some kicking. I'm not going to do it. You can't make me. But overall, all of humanity, all over the world, has started paying greater attention to one another. It's more than just one baby being birthed into the world, and I'm not dissing that. That was an amazing gift, but the gift that we are birthing, that we are creating as humanity stands together through this very weird year, are gifts that are going to change the world for all time. We are getting closer to Source, whether it's a higher power, whether it's a goddess, whether it's God, whether it's Jesus. However that knowing, that spirituality manifests within us and comes from us and through us, it's bigger now. It's bigger because we're learning to love one another and care for one another in ways, honestly, we didn't have to before, in ways that we've never been asked to before. We're getting ready for a new world, a new change, a new awareness, a new ability to love, to share. This is a very weird Christmas, but that doesn't make it bad, and that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. How often are the greatest gifts we're given things we did not even know we wanted, things that we didn't even know we were looking for, that we would have a use for? We may not even have known they existed until they ended up in our life, in our home, in our family, in our room, in our hearts. And they become a part of who we are, of how we love, of how we create in the world the gifts we give. I don't know about you, but I've had a little extra time on my hands this year that I wasn't quite expecting. And I found myself creating. I found myself coloring and drawing and making and putting things together. I found myself thinking of things that my kids, my grandkids might want to keep forever and ever and ever. Not the latest, biggest, coolest toy, not the brightest color, but things from the heart. Remember when and what if, and how about we do this? And my gifts, my gift-giving consciousness has changed. And I think yours has too, if you really stop and think about it. And it can be hard to do. We get all caught up in the drama and the crying and the fit throwing and poor little me, I can't do this and they won't let me do that and wah, wah, wah. Or we stand up, we clean house, we make it right, and we take our own inventory, right? What am I doing? What am I saying? When I call people and talk to them, did I tell them, oh yeah, this happened, poor me, wah? Or do I tell them, hey, you know what? I remembered that day when you, and it made me laugh. And it made me cry. And I can't wait until we can do it again. You get to choose who you are. And who you are is the gift that you give to the world. This is an especially weird Christmas, but it's also a wonderful gift in its own way. You can look at it that way, and you can. It's an opportunity to become more than you've ever been before. It's an opportunity to love in ways you didn't even know existed. It's an opportunity to be better than you have ever been before. Those of us who have lived through this year are walking away with a gift that's going to change all of the generations to come. And for a lot of us, we know it. For a lot of us, we can feel it. We can see it. Way too many of us have loved ones who've ended up in the hospital or in care, and we haven't been able to go and visit. We haven't been able to see them in person. But we have come up with so many unique and unbelievable and unthought of ever before ways of making them matter, making them think. A friend of mine celebrated a birthday last week, and when he woke up, someone had decorated his lawn with little hearts just all over the neighborhood and happy birthday. And the whole neighborhood got to celebrate with him because it was his birthday. And they may never even have known it before. It was magical. And he took pictures. And every single one of us have had our isolation birthday, right? This has gone on for a year. And we have stories of people on parade and phone calls and Zoom calls and pajama parties via Zoom and all the crazy stuff that we've done together. And it's all a part of how we have grown together. And we are growing exponentially. This weird Christmas is all about creating the change that is going to be made manifest because of what we've walked through, because of what we've done, because of who we've become.
Hi, I'm Becky R. Would you please join me in meditation? Let us begin by taking a slow, deep breath in and slowly releasing the day's busyness. Following our breath in and out. Each time we go deeper, deeper in and releasing more out. Relaxing in our supportive seat. We release the tensions or concerns of our day. Deeper and deeper we go into the flow of the divine. As we rest in this loving, safe, beautiful space, we realize and recognize we are connected to all that is, all that was, and all that will be. We are connected to Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus laying there in the manger. How could Mary or Joseph know? Their beautiful baby boy would bring the change to this world in the ways that he has. As you continue to relax in this state, breathing in and out naturally, ask yourself, is it possible to know in that moment the change of the future of the world? In this place of rest and connection, we know the divine, the pure essence of love, the love that Mary kissed the baby Jesus with, the face of God, the love Joseph had for his son and God had for his son and for all of us. Feel that love. Feel that safety and security. Rest in the knowing for a few seconds, breathing in this love, this connection to the divine. How do we know We may not. We do know we're safe, we're loved, and we are connected to all that is. As you begin to come back to this place and time, bring with you the feelings of safety and the love. Be aware of the essence of the beautiful life your higher power is sharing with you. Bring the realization that even if you do not know what changes may be coming, we are surrounded and protected and loved by the divine presence. As you begin coming back, as you take your next breath and release and know that all is well, open your eyes, and so it is.
I would like to offer you a gift, a more traditional gift on this Christmas Place of Faith. And we have invited Patricia to share a favorite story with you. Be joyous, Merry Christmas, and thank you for being a part of a Place of Faith.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Jody. Please sit back and relax. And let me tell you about The Night Before Christmas by Clement Clark Moore. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. Mamma in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the roof there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the windows I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer, with a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in an instant it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves before the wild hurricane fly, when they met with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetops, the courses they knew, with a sleigh full of reindeer and St. Nicholas too. And then with a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur, from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his sack. His eyes, how they glistened and twinkled, his dimples so merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him, in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me the know. I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work. He filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
Thank you for joining us, and let's stay connected and grow in spirit. We are on Facebook. Search for Unity Church of El Cajon and follow us and like our posts. You can reach us on YouTube at Unity Church of El Cajon. Please subscribe to our channel, watch our videos, and leave comments which can help us improve. We are on the web at unityofelcajon.org. Email or call our church office to receive our weekly newsletters, which lists all of our activities and opportunities to learn and grow together.